welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about dating apps. I'm not talking about eHarmony or Christian Mingle or Catholic Match. I'm talking about apps people use on their phones for the purpose of dating, or all the other purposes they use these apps for. I took a survey on my Instagram. If you want to follow me at EMWILSS, we go live every Tuesday for the most part. It's a lot of fun. I took a survey there and I asked a lot of you 4 questions and the results were very interesting and I wanted to share those results with you. So for the first question I asked, have you ever used a dating app? Like the kind that you swipe in on your phone. 6,257 of you responded, which I was really grateful for. So we had a big pool. And I was actually really surprised. 1,849 of you have used a dating app on your phone. 4,408 of you have not used a dating app on your phone. I thought that was really interesting that way more of you have not used a dating app. The next question I asked was, in your experience on dating apps on your phone, was your experience positive or negative? 719 of you said you had a positive experience. 1,786 of you said you had a negative experience. So it swung totally in the negative way. The overwhelming majority of you had a negative experience. The most surprising result was the third question. I said, how many of you are in a relationship with someone that you met on a dating app? 310 of you are, which I thought was so interesting. I thought it would maybe be like 30 or 35. 310 of you said yes. 3,515 of you said no. You are not in a relationship with someone that you met on a dating app. The last question I asked was, overall, do you think that dating apps are a positive thing or not a positive thing? 1,027 of you said that it's a positive thing. 3,757 of you said that it's not a positive thing. Well, thank you for participating in my survey. If you did, I want to make a disclaimer that I'm not here to tell you what you should be doing or what you should not be doing. I'm here to help you to step back and think about, the world of dating apps and ask yourself some hard questions, which we do a lot on my channel. The first thing that I want to say is I don't think dating apps are appropriate for people under 21. I think that if you are 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, that you should just be out in the world meeting people, just having fun, enjoying yourself, not online like for the sole purpose of finding a relationship. That's my personal opinion. I think dating apps, dating websites are good for people 21 and older. With that said, I have a couple thoughts on the poll that I took that I want to talk about with you. I got a lot of messages. A lot of you messaged me through the app, through the little Instagram message, and told me about what you think. A lot of you gave me input on the relationships that you're in from dating apps, the experiences that you've had, and they all helped me come to a conclusion about a question that you should ask yourself before you ever make an account on a dating app. In my opinion, if you're 21 and older. If you're 18, this may apply to you down the road, so put this in your pocket. The question that I think is of supreme importance to ask yourself before making an account on a dating app is, what am I looking for? Now, I'm not talking about what am I looking for? Well, a guy who's 6 foot tall, plays the guitar, is really strong in his faith. No. I'm not talking about that kind of what are you looking for. I'm talking about what are you looking for in the sense of why are you signing up? What is the reason that you're making this account? A lot of women messaged me and they said that their purpose in signing up for dating apps was to seek validation, to seek approval, to find out whether they're attractive to guys or not. All of these different ways that they were seeking validation and seeking attention and seeking the wrong things in signing up for a dating app. That usually never ends well. Why? Because there's a lot of people, both men and women, I think. Well, since I'm talking to you and most of you are women, I'm going to talk about men. There's a lot of men on dating apps who are looking for not a serious relationship, not a girlfriend to treat really well, but just for random hookups. That's something that a lot of people know. When I ask myself the question, what am I looking for? I give myself the opportunity to step back and say, am I simply looking for approval? Am I simply looking for validation? Am I simply looking to find out from the general public of guys around if I'm attractive? If that is the reason that I'm signing up, I should not sign up. I should not make a profile, because that will end in disaster, and that will end in me becoming addicted to this app, to this source that tells me whether I'm beautiful enough, whether I'm, you know, attractive enough, whether I can attract the kind of guys that I'm looking for in my life. That's not a good recipe. That's not a healthy recipe for our hearts at all. When we ask ourselves the question, what am I looking for? And you feel you have the self-awareness in your life to think, I'm looking for a serious relationship. You know who you are. You know what your values are. I'm not saying you have to have it all figured out. We've talked about this a zillion times. We're all on a journey to find out who we are. You don't have to have yourself figured out yet. But do I know what I'm looking for, what my end goal is in signing up for this app? Now, some of you might think like you're taking this a little bit too seriously. A lot of people, a lot of women get really, really hurt and get themselves into awful situations through dating apps. And that's why these should be taken seriously. And that's why I want you guys to take them seriously. But what am I looking for? If I'm looking for a serious relationship, okay, what kind of platform am I signing up for? Am I signing up for the platforms where I will find men of good character, of good faith, seeking serious relationships, or am I signing up for the ones that most people know and talk about are the ones that are, you know, primarily hookup based and for people seeking hookups? One of the ones that people talked about was Coffee Meets Bagel, where you can say, I'm a Catholic woman, like, and that's, you know, one of the most important parts of my life, and then you can filter out, you know, all the profiles that are not, or something like that. If you are looking for validation, for approval, for all of those different kinds of things, you fall into the trap of the guys who sign up for dating apps seeking girls like you so that they can take whatever they can get from you and then just send you on your merry way. Again, this is not something that just guys do, but since my audience is women, that's why I'm saying this. There's one woman who messaged me, she said, I was really struggling with myself and my self-worth and had resorted to apps looking for hookups. Not a healthy or good or smart thing to do. Her story ended well, so I was really glad for her. I had one young woman who messaged me who I think spoke to a lot of the reason why women sign up for dating apps and get attached to dating apps. She said, I used Tinder to collect data on whether I'm actually attractive. I received matches, so it helped boost my self-esteem. I am not faulting this woman, because I think this is the reason a lot of women go on, and that's why I think it can become a very, very unhealthy thing. If we sign up for dating apps looking for a self-esteem boost, we're just gonna keep going to back to that place, because if our self-esteem is derived from how many guys swipe on our photo, we are not looking for our self-esteem in the right place. We are to look for our self-esteem, our self-worth, our value in the Lord, in God. That is where we are to have our confidence rooted. And so when we go looking for our self-esteem in a place like a dating app, we're gonna come up empty every single time. So, that question, what am I looking for? It's a hard question. It takes self-awareness, it takes critical thinking, it takes evaluation. But when we know what am I looking for, if the answer is not the right things, I'm looking for someone to validate me, I'm looking for approval, I'm looking to collect data to help my self-esteem, you don't sign up. You don't sign up until you are in a place in your life where you know who you are, you know whose you are, your confidence is rooted in Jesus Christ himself, and then you can go from there. The dating world is very huge and complicated, but dating apps are a huge part of our culture. It's something that a lot of people are on, a lot of people talk about, but they have to be used for the right reasons. And we have to be wary and be careful so that we don't fall into the culture of just random hookups that dating apps can so easily provide for us. And the hookup culture that dating apps provide don't fulfill anyone, they don't make anyone truly happy, they don't offer any sort of authentic freedom. They just leave so many people feeling more lost and empty and broken than before the search began. These are just some things to really, really, really think about. Again, I know this doesn't apply to some of you, but it's important that we think about these things. It's important that we talk about these things. It's important that we don't just sign up for dating apps because it's what everybody else is doing, but look inside of our own hearts, where you are in your life, where your heart is, where your spiritual life is, where all of those things are, so that you can ask yourself that hard question, what am I looking for? Is it the right thing or is it the wrong thing? Is it something that's gonna lead me to good things, or is it something that could lead me down a really, really, really bad path? That's all for today. Just some things to consider. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel and press the like button if you liked this video and like me talking about these things. That's all for today. I'll talk to you soon.